There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. Hey, Mark Shepard here in the Better Man Project, and this is episode number 7. In this episode, I'm going to respond to an email. I've been having a conversation with a young man named John who's in high school, and again, this is not counseling, this is not therapy, this is coaching, this is older man mentoring younger man. And the thing is, he's doing it, I've done it, and you've probably done it too. My dad, who's 90, fancied a woman who he really liked her, he enjoyed her company, couldn't take it beyond just being friends, couldn't really say what he was really thinking, right? And this happens a lot, and we have, in contrast to that, today the news is that Senator Al Franken, who had a former life as a comedian, a woman came out that says that he was inappropriate with her. And so a lot in the minds of a lot of guys, we don't know how to be appropriate. And this is what bothers me so much, particularly about like Louis C.K. and other men whose lives are being destroyed because they never learned how to actually be appropriate and to spark attraction with women. They pushed, they forced, they imposed, they chased, they pursued women who weren't interested in them, right? And because a lot of times these are older men who kind of approach younger women, and we are, as older men, attracted to younger women. It's biological. It's not perverted. It's not creepy. It's only creepy if you don't know how a woman's mind is wired. And in this case, there's a difference between being appropriate and inappropriate. So a lot of young men are already like, they're so afraid of how a woman's going to react. And that's the kind of key point, is that you have to change in your mind. And I go into this in depth in the Mike Covey interview that is not yet available for the public, but it will be available hopefully soon. Hopefully by the end of the next couple of days, I'll be able to set it up so that you can download it or at least watch it. But the bottom line is, when you are not pushing and pursuing her, when you have lots of other options, when you are not putting her on a pedestal and making her the one, then you're free to allow her to be attracted to you, and she may or may not be. And the thing we have to get in our heads, guys, is that whether she's attracted to or not, your life goes on. And there are plenty of other women who probably are attracted to you who you probably aren't even noticing, right? And so and the thing is, you've got to get some experience with this, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to stumble. You're going to get nervous. It's not going to come off the way you want it to, right? And so that's the other piece, is that you have to be able to be okay with failing. You have to be okay with, like, yeah, that didn't work. Let me try something different. But if you take the mindset of, I'm an attractive man, any woman would be lucky to be with me, then you're not pushing. You're moving through life in a way that attractive women, it's like when you look at an attractive woman and there's that moment, she's evaluating whether you're someone who is safe, someone who's creepy, someone who's interesting, someone who's attractive. She's evaluating you on a lot of different levels. And for a lot of guys, particularly, I mean, for me, when I was young, I had a whole thing, and I still do a little bit with being criticized by women, being teased, by being humiliated, being shamed by women. And I actually, in college, was actually abused by a couple of women who I was sharing an apartment with. They held me down and pulled my pants down. Like, that's abuse. That's a man experiencing abuse from women, right? Today, I would love it if a bunch of young college-age women grabbed me and pulled my pants down. That would be awesome. I just didn't know how to handle it, and I was shy, and I was really uptight. And so this process, the thing you have to, and I'm trying to say this not only to John, But to all of the other guys that have emailed me over the years, all of the guys that I've worked with, all of the guys that I've coached, all of the guys who have confided in me that just trying to say hi to a woman, like, why is that so fucking hard? Because you are attached to her opinion of you. And if you are attached to her opinion of you, who has the power? Right? Who have you put in a place of power over you? Now, if, let's say, and this is just a hypothetical and it's an emotional thing, not a sexual thing, right? So get that straight in your head. So let's say you're a high school age kid or a college age guy or in your young 20s and you're normal, you're not a perverted child molester. You would have no trouble teasing and being silly with your nieces. And I'm talking totally appropriately. I'm not, I'm trying to keep this in a context where it's healthy. And healthy male sexuality should not be shamed, but it also shouldn't be imposed, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, if you didn't care about her opinion, if she was obviously a girl and you were thinking differently about yourself, you wouldn't be bothered by it. So how to stop the freeze up, right? How to stop the freeze up. Here's a couple of ways to stop the freeze up. First of all, have a timeline in your head. Let's say this is where you are in your life, right here. Okay? This is you. You're frustrated. You're trying to say hi. Right? This is let's say the next year of your life, right? Are you going to put everything on this interaction with her? And let's say she's looking, she's looking at someone else. She's not looking at you, You're unhappy. But the thing is, what do you have going for you in your life? What else can you focus on? Right? And this loop that's going on and on in your mind, this kind of obsessive loop, you're thinking about her all the time, you're nervous around her, all that kind of stuff. The big realization, and this is honest hypnosis, by the way, is that you are hypnotizing yourself to make her really important in your mind. And there's a couple of different ways that you can handle this. When you think of this girl or this woman, and I go into this a lot more detail on how to get over a girl, how to get over a breakup, shy guy help, etc. Those courses are honesthypnosis.com. Go check it out, honesthypnosis.com. You can literally, when you think of her, you probably have a picture in your mind. And it's probably center of your mental movie screen. And you're going to have to practice this. It's not a one-time quick fix, people. You're going to have to practice this. And that is, when you think of her, notice she's probably right in the center of your mental movie screen. What you want to do is you want to take her picture in your mind, shrink it down, and move it down to your lower left quadrant, or move it behind you. And just practice that. Now, when she walks by you, you have to really understand this is practice. You're young. You have to learn this sometime. And if you notice she's actually trying to give you a chance, that window, women don't do that forever. Like, I look back and I say, wow, that woman was actually saying, yes, come get to know me more. But women do it subtly, right? And you have to kind of take that and go, okay, she's letting me know she wants to dance, and I'm willing to ask her to dance. And if she says no, then she gave me a mixed message, and that's okay. Boom, ding, move on. And the process is to shrink her down in your mind, move her down to your lower left quadrant. There's something about that kind of either puts it in your past or put her behind you. But the thing is to shrink her down, right? So one of the things that I've done in my life, like, I was in a second marriage that only lasted a year, and she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever been with, and blah, 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 blah. And eventually I had to shrink her down and move her down to my lower left quadrant, right? And I noticed that women who I used to be in love with, who I'm now just friends with, I had a whole little gallery. And I just shrank her down and put her in a little gallery. And we're now friends. We don't talk very much, but we talk every couple of years, and we chat, and it's fine. So in your mind, you have to shrink her down, put her in your lower left quadrant. Okay, so that's all I can give you today. That's all I can give you for free. There's a lot more. If you want to go deeper into any of my courses, go ahead and check out honesthypnosis.com. And my girlfriend's calling me, and we're going to go to New York City, so I got to jump. I will talk to you in the next one.
There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here.